Now to the one who works, his wages are not counted as a gift, but as his due. In this little piece of logic, Paul's helping us to understand the nature of work, as opposed to, or in the light of, the nature of grace. My first consideration is that, once again, we don't have a verbal idea present here, similar to our last passage. And so what is the verbal idea? I want to understand it. Well, I think this prepositional phrase is one of those that does indeed carry the verbal idea from the previous passage. In other words, I can read this: his wages are not counted as a gift, but they are counted, there's my verb, as his due. My second consideration is the conjunction adverb combination of not and but. When I see these two conjunctions slash ad, because not is an adverb, when I see those together, often, almost always, they are going to refer to a negative positive relationship, because we are told what something isn't in order to better understand what something is. But just to test this idea out a little bit, let's consider, are these statements restatements of each other, or are they distinct in some way? Is the second statement repeating or unpacking the first? Well, the idea of a negative positive is that, yes, you are unpacking an idea by saying what it is not in order to clarify what it is. For example, if I was coming up to a T and I was driving in a car and I decided to turn right, I'm also deciding to turn not left. By saying I'm going to turn not left, I'm implicitly saying I'm going to turn right. And so the idea of a not statement does unpack it. It's a restatement of the but statement. And that's what I think we have here, a negative positive. There it is, two statements, one of which is denied so that the other is enforced. This is also the relationship implicit in contrasting statements, not but. And so let's consider what God is saying in trying to understand the idea of works. How is he explaining it to us? He's explaining it to us by relating to us something that we already dearly relate to, some aspect of life, because we dearly relate to this idea of works. Imagine a teacher who would go to a student and say, "You should be thankful I gave you an A." The student would naturally respond, "Wait a minute, you didn't give me an A. I worked for that A. That is not counted as a gift. It's not like I owe you a favor, teacher, like you gave me something. You can't hold that over me. I earned it." And we implicitly, as employees or as students or those who are working for something, understand that the person who eventually gives it to us isn't allowed to claim that as a gift as if they're doing a favor. We worked for it. In the same way, God is unpacking for us what his relationship with us is to be like. He does not want us to have that same kind of dissonance or misunderstanding that we would have between a teacher and a student, the illustration I just cited for you a minute ago. That kind of discordance is not what grace is about. Grace is about receiving things as it truly is, a gift. And so we need to understand what our works are with relation to God's grace. And that's why he uses a negative positive there to explain it to us.
There are two common questions on the mind of a man preparing a Bible teaching. What can I say about this text? And what is this text saying? Well, the former matters a little. The latter is the key to faithfulness. The bracketing Bible study method helps me get this right, guarding me from preaching a smashing sermon made up merely of my own opinions. Check it out at Bible Arc Equip.